Doody-doo-doo-doo.
This video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe.
One and all, and welcome to the Week in Review here on Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki, and with me today, of course, is the Rooster Day, Bob. How are you doing, brother?
Doing good. How are y'all out there in Valhalla?
That's right. What is up, guys? How has your week been? Andy Masterson is here. What's up? Good morning, my friend. If I missed anybody in the intro, my sincere apologies. I got everybody I could see. Arwyn is on her way. She's running just a tad late. She will be here to say, hey, y'all, good morning. I hope y'all are doing fine.
I think Mark might have timed her out for 5 minutes.
Mark. Oh, my God. That still doesn't get old. So I did that to Lady Mist back in the day. It's one of those things that happens. It was a butt ban. It was a butt ban. Yeah, he put his phone in his pocket and butt banned her. There's no there was nothing going on. No harm done. She's she's still here. She's unbanned. So she will be here. She's just running a little late. We've got a couple of things we're going to talk about this morning. It's been a crazy week, right? Lot of talk about the X-Men thing, but I really don't want to hit that just yet until Arwyn gets here. She's on her way. I'm just gonna say really quick. The X-Men was all about not putting labels on people. That was a Magneto thing. Isn't that interesting? Magneto is the one who said, "We are Homo superior, Charles. We are not Homo sapiens. They are the lowest species. We are Homo superior." Magneto was the one who was always putting labels on people. Professor X said, we're all the same. We're all the same. We don't need labels because we are all the same. We're all the same. We're people. It's just what we are. We're all people. So we're going to get into this this morning. Hopefully Arwyn will be here soon. And we can kick this door down. Kizzy, what is up? Arwyn has some masters to serve.
Ooh.
Kizzy 0975. What is up? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Lovely Sherry is here. Henry Gambles is here. Real Wade Nation, what's up, buddy? How are you doing? Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips is here. How are you doing, my friend? There's so much. Man, this month is crazy. So we went and saw Dune Part 1. Again, it's the first time for Eris and IMAX. She absolutely went nuts. Loved it. Usually she doesn't like super loud movies, but she loved this movie. She really did. She thought it was great and said it was a whole new experience to see it in the big screen. It was a different experience. Maybe that's what is missing for some people. Maybe it's that, oh, well, I watched it when it came out on DVD and it didn't look that impressive. And maybe that's what's missing. Who knows? Arwyn walked down the hallway and went to the kitchen, and I forgot she had to be on your live stream, Loki. Holy shit. Holy shit. Peli says, I'm worried about part 2, Loki. Went woke on Dune Part 2. We're going to find out. We're going to find out on the 25th. So you will get 5 days before it comes out, you will get a first-hand review from me and Eris as soon as we walk out of the theater.
Yeah, the girl that thinks she's so good she just has to have one name, maybe kind of stealing the limelight.
I don't know about that. She showed up to the premiere as C-3PO. C-3PO is kind of like a supporting character.
A robot.
She is. Yeah. She did confirm she is fluent in over 6 million forms of communication at the premiere. I don't know how you pee in something like that. I believe it was Chris Persia that said that it's a modified still suit, and all your excreted fluids drain down into your boots. Yeah.
You leave a wet trail of footprints through the sand?
That's I'm wondering about that myself. Could that be something we're going to see? Could that be something we're going to see in Dune Part 2? I will tell you this. I saw the 15-minute preview. I saw the extended preview, and I want to tell you something. It wasn't an ad. It was an actual scene from the movie. And it very much reminded me of the 84 Dune, the scene where it was the sandworm scene, where Stilgar says, Usul has called a big one again. It is the legend. There's a part that was absolutely great where Stilgar walked up to Paul and he said, you will succeed or you will die. Good luck. And I was like, okay, I kind of like that. He's like, you will either succeed or you will die.
Here's your fishing hook.
Yeah, here's your fishing hook. Good luck. So I liked that. I liked that little 15-minute clip of him doing the worm thing. It did remind me very much of the 84 scene, except it was a lot bigger. and a lot louder. And I don't know. I'm excited. I want to see it. I'm not going to pass judgment until I see it. And that's part. I guess we'll go ahead and start on this X-Men thing while we're waiting on Arwyn. So a statement came out the other day. You've all seen it. I'm sure you've all heard about it. Everybody's talking about it. That Morph in the new X-Men. The first thing they say is he's non-binary. Is Morph non-binary? He can be whatever. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But this is a continuation of X-Men 97. It is not.
Supposedly.
It is not X-Men 2024. It is not X-Men 1980 something. It's X-Men 97. If you're going to create a character bio for a character in a 97 show, that's a period piece of X-Men 97 and a continuation of the original show. That terminology did not exist.
Nope.
I mean, it's plain simple logic. The terminology did not exist then to be labeled as such. They can't help themselves. They can't. They have to do something. And yeah, it's gotten everybody talking about it. If you want to rage about it, if you want to flip out, I'm not flipping out. I'm just saying that if you're going to write a bio for a character in 1997, they would not have non-binary in their character for 1997. And hello, beautiful.
Morning, y'all. I'm sorry.
Good morning. I tell you what, Chris nailed that rogue.
Oh my God. I never look so good. Can I keep it? Can I please? Oh my God, Chris. Yeah, you did amazing.
You're going to have to send that to her now. So this is what we're talking about. And I would not be Cyclops. I would be Gambit. God help me.
Gambit. Oh my God. Okay.
Old man
Wolverine.
Logan Day, Bob.
No, I'm not like 5'4", so I can't be Wolverine. But I could be Gambit. The chomps. Mon cher.
Oh my God.
Mon
Yes.
cher.
That's so cool. Anyway,
New
I apologize
Orleans.
for being late. I'm sorry. It's like shit shook out at 8
Look,
o'clock this morning.
Arwyn,
It just stopped. So
Do me a favor, Arwyn. Just say sugar.
sugar.
There you go.
Hey, sugar. Anyway.
Don't get a moon burn.
Sugar. So what y'all talking about?
We're talking about
X-Men.
X-Men. We just got into X-Men, and basically, they can. My thoughts on this is they can make more, whatever they want to make more.
Okay.
If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But the terminology in 97 did not exist
Right.
to name him as such. And if you're going to put it in his bio for a character in 1997, that does not belong in their bio. I would not
No.
write a cowboy movie in 1886 with a Ford Bronco in it. Period.
Mm-mm.
After the cowboys get done on the range and they're done roping cattle, they're gonna go out and hang out in their Ford Bronco and go mudding. Yeehaw! It's not
Right.
It didn't exist.
The closest thing I think we had for an official classification would be androgynous back then.
Yeah.
And even then, that wasn't used in casual conversation.
No, that
It's
was
not like,
just
hey, you're looking
Pat.
very androgynous today. Yay!
That was
It-
just Pat on Saturday Night Live.
That was Pat. But yeah, it was a descriptor. Like, when Boy George came out in the 80s and you had all the, the punk scene from the 70s, and these kind of words developed, but no one was, oh my God, getting into open, dissertations about pronouns during back then. We just weren't.
And there are a lot of people that say, you don't know what the X-Men are. If you have any problem with this whatsoever, you don't know what the X-Men are. I'm going to tell you what the X-Men are. The X-Men are not about labels. They're not about labeling anything. There is no, I am mutant and proud. That's Magneto and the Brotherhood
Yeah,
of Mutants.
good point.
Those are the violent ones. Those are the crazy ones that were like, we are Homo superior. That's what they called themselves too. Homo superior. We are not like them, Charles. That was Magneto, not Professor X. Professor X was like, we're all just people.
Yeah.
We don't need any labels at
Yeah,
all. There
we're
shouldn't
just
be labels.
folks. Just folks.
And from a fan perspective, from the fan perspective of that, what do you mean we don't know who they are? We've been knowing who they are for freaking years. These are established characters. We know who a lot of these characters are. And if they have new ones come up, fine, just don't call it 97 X-Men. Make it new X-Men. It's not the 97 X-Men. It's new ones.
You were continuing a property that someone who was not here anymore, because the guy who did all this is deceased. He passed away.
Yeah.
You were continuing the work of someone else and altering it to suit your needs, not the public's needs, not anybody else's needs, your needs.
All you have to do is look at the DEI hiring practices over there. Did you see that chart they put out?
For the I didn't know.
No.
They're about to get hammered over there at Disney. I mean, they are going to get crucified.
For what? What's the chart?
They have a practices to where everything has got to be a certain quota for this group, that group, and the other. And it's going to they're going to get crucified in court for discrimination, sex discrimination, all kinds of discrimination just from that one chart they put out.
If a studio was really smart, this is what they would do. If they wanted to get in on all this, woke bullshit and all this stuff and all these stories and all this, fine, that's no problem. But they need to go on the down low and they need to hire some really, really good writers and write a shitload of stories and then just plug them in where they need them. Already with all these characters, brand new characters with good stories, I guarantee you, nobody's going to give two shits if it's a they, them. Or if it's whatever the person is, straight person, gay person, trans black woman in a wheelchair. No, if they're original and they're really good organic stories and it works, no one will care. But they don't do that. They just try and shoehorn all of these things into these existing characters and expect people to just not go, oh my God, Wolverine's special friend. Okay. We're laughing our asses off. And then they're mad saying, you don't know X-Men. Are you kidding me? It's an insane circle that they're on. They're not being smart about it, but whatever. See, Hollywood, I just gave you a free idea. Where the hell's my check in the mail? Come on now. Work with me.
And I'm not arguing that Morph can't be whatever Morph is. Morph can be whoever he wants to be.
Fine.
Period.
Yeah.
But the terminology did not exist then. So
That's
if you're
my
going
point.
to put it in someone's bio, that immediately betrays the original idea for the character.
Right.
It's a present day term. It's not something they used in 97. If you want to use something in 97, as Arwyn said, but nobody said androgynous. No one really said androgynous.
It was when we saw someone who looked, very, I've been to lesbian bars in the late 90s. I've seen my fair share of androgynous. So, and that's not an insulter. It's just a descriptor. It's someone that doesn't really look male, doesn't really look female, who kind of embraces, a lot of flannel or a little bit of makeup or whatever, male or female. It's a descriptor, but it wasn't something we talked about. It wasn't like, oh my God, like it is today. I mean, today you got people presenting full woman going, hi, my pronouns are flowers. Oh my God, what? So yeah, it's not the same world. It's not the world that we operate in now. And if they're going to do 97, do 97. And like Loki said, at least do what you want, but make the shit work, make it fit, make it feel, natural to that environment. Sorry, y'all. I'm worked up this morning. I'll shut up.
No, don't shut up. Oh.
They can't help themselves anymore. I mean, it is literally so ingrained over there that they have no idea how to do anything else. I mean, it's just their culture and it needs to change, but I don't see it changing.
Okay, you know what true representation is? Y'all know Daredevil, the show Daredevil, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you
No,
talking
I'm
about
sorry, not
you're
Daredevil.
talking about the Netflix ones, right?
Yeah, I don't mean Daredevil.
Okay.
I mean like Jessica Jones. Who the hell did she
Luke
hang out with?
Cage.
Luke Cage. Okay, that group. Did y'all ever see those for the Netflix?
Oh yeah.
Particularly, I think it's
Yeah.
Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones's secretary, the beautiful Indian woman. She like has her sidekick, and then she has the woman who works in the office. That actress is trans. The actress is trans. The character could be, could be gay, bi. Guess what? We don't know. But the point is, that actress is trans. She's out there working. She's making her coin. Nobody has a problem with it. It is representation for the trans community. Guess what? They didn't make a big fucking deal out of it because at the end of the day, the actress has work and she is representing. Why the hell does there have to be a sounding board, a clamor every time that happens? Well, if the actress is trans, then the character's got to be trans, and then we got to do this and got to do that. I don't understand why. You can do representation, get people work, and have good stories, and none of it matters. It's not like every time you see a straight person, well, I'm straight, I'm gonna go French that girl over there or French that guy. It becomes ridiculous after a point.
Redonkulous.
It redonkulous is yes, because it is already happening, but some studios are kind of quiet about it because the true representation is getting people work. Is it not?
Supposed to be.
Is
Yeah.
that not what it's about? Instead, they're making this big showcase. Well, look at us. Look at how many X we have over here and how many Y and how many Z. Nobody cares, especially
that's
when you're
what-
giving us shit entertainment.
That's what Bob Iger just got caught doing. This was back in 22. Bob Iger just got caught basically admitting to all of this, that this is what we have to make a show. We have to make a show of this, and we have to
Yeah.
show the world that we do this and that we're the
Politics.
ones. Yeah, it's all politics.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, good morning, Arlena. Arlena. Mwah, mwah,
Is the
mwah.
actor is good at acting because he is pretending to be a woman and a
I
secretary?
wish you was
Bing.
gonna chime in on that. I knew it. But that to me, that's true representation. We have a great role for you. You fit the role. You work it great. I don't give a shit if you're trans or not. Come on in. Hey, you over there. Okay, I don't get. Let's hire people, but we're gonna make it work, and we're gonna utilize them where we can. And it's just they're missing the mark with that. Totally missing the mark.
Seems
what
to
do
be
I know?
it seems to be a common mistake, and I know that last night there were a couple people that were kind of upset that I had the opinion that I had. It's 1997. It's not 2024. It's not 2023. It's not X-Men 22. It is 1997.
97. That's the
Beach.
clincher.
Terminology did not exist then. So why is it in someone's bio?
Loki,
shouldn't be,
I
period.
think the difference, though, is you're a nerd, and the people who are making or redoing this, I don't think they're nerds. I don't think they really understand. You got the different X-Men, but again, X-Men 97. It's a very specific brand of X-Men, and the world, it was a very specific way back then.
And as I said earlier, there's one group of people that use terminology above everything else, and that was the Brotherhood of Mutants. It wasn't the X-Men.
Wah, wah,
It wasn't.
wah.
You can sit there and be like, you're the bad people. You're the people holding down with mutant signs and no. We're the people with common sense going. They didn't have that then. And if they did, it wasn't called that. It was called something else. If you're going to do a period piece, stick to the period. If you're going to do a show and you want something specific, this is Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
This is Rogue in the original X-Men cartoon. This is Rogue now.
Where's her ass?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God,
gone.
she's a Southern Belle. She needs an ass.
She's got the body of a 12-year-old boy.
Oh, y'all, the South has got asses for days. So this is not good representation as a Southern woman. Where the hell's my representation?
It's already
I like
starting.
my
If you want
women
to
with
pap to
curves.
someone, go pap on a porn channel. Has nothing to do with that.
No.
You are making a show about characters that were already created by someone else who is no longer with us, and you are not honoring the original design of those characters.
Right.
You are systematically changing what the show was about. So, of course, people are going to be upset.
Yeah.
It is that simple. People are going to get upset. Why? Because you are changing the fundamental ideals that were written in the other seasons of the show. You are changing the character design for characters that were created in other seasons of the show. Rogue's been there since day one.
Yeah.
She didn't look like a 12-year-old boy. Storm didn't look like a 12-year-old boy. The Mohawk, I've always loved Mohawk Storm. I have, from the 70s and the 80s. I've always loved the Mohawk Storm. I don't care about her hair. If she doesn't look like Storm, we have a problem.
Right. And she did with the Mohawk. It was still Storm. Even though I personally did not like, because I'm like, Storm, where are you? I got it with the alternate universe and the timeline and blah, blah, blah. It worked. It was fine. Again, Loki, it worked. It worked. It was interesting. People were into it, but and you make a really good point. It's not like Professor X is sitting there having these, inclusivity and all of these meetings. Okay, well, y'all tell us your feelings and how can we relate and this group and that group. No, he was like, come on, mutants, let's live in this world. We are like everyone else.
Come to me, X-Men.
It's like,
I fucking hated that they let Cyclops do that. I really did. I understand the point of it, but that's not what come to me, my X-Men. That's Professor X thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if and I always thought Scott was always halfway up his own ass anyway. So,
but he was okay. Yes, he was, but he was like the kind of at least in my thing. I mean, I was never really into Cyclops in that way, but he was kind of like the shining beacon, the golden boy, this is what we could do if we band together under Professor X and try and become part of the world and blah, blah, blah. He was kind of like that jock golden boy symbol for a while, I thought. But yeah, he kind of was up his own ass, but that was part of his charm.
I have just all kinds of early X-Men. I'm talking about the modern X-Men starting in the 70s with the new group, and I've kind of always, for whatever reason, identified with a short little Canadian with claws.
I always wished I got so tired, and Eris did the same thing when she watched, because we watched all of this last year. We watched the whole series last year. She's like, oh my God, will Wolverine get over Jean? I'm so sick of this. Jean. Oh, I'm going to touch your picture. It's like, dude, she's married. Get the fuck over it. Move on. Go down the road. They did the same thing in Wolverine, whatever it was, where he goes to Japan. He's still dreaming about Jean. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, get over it. Get the F over it. I understand she's gone. You killed her. You murdered her, but you had to. She was trying to literally disintegrate you on the cellular level. Get the F over it, bro.
Yeah. There were issues in that relationship for sure.
Save that from when you see her again at the end of the next movie, where you're like, you're back in the school and you're walking around. Scott, Jean, I
never liked.
Get over it, dude.
I never liked the whole obsession he had with her in the films. I didn't.
Oh, she's with Scott, okay? And it doesn't matter. The boyfriend thing, she's off limits. She's just off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There is no Wolverine, this is what's going to happen. They may do it in the comic books nowadays, but you're not going to get to be doing the Beast with two backs with Jean while Scott's grabbing onto your leg like a dog. It's just not going to happen, dude. So get over it. They want to put them in all this weird, and that's the problem. It's the problem a lot of people have is it's not about the character anymore. It's about their orientation. That's first. That's always first. That's first in the bio. For Morph, that's been being passed around. And the absolute insulting bullshit that is, if you don't like it, don't watch it. If you don't like it, leave. This is ours now. It's not yours anymore. It's not your show. You didn't grow up watching it. So F off. We're
Well,
pointing something out. We're pointing something out that you obviously missed because your little bio is all that mattered to you. It doesn't matter what the character is. He has to be this. We have to put this label on him. That label may work in 2024. I'm not going to argue that. Morph can be whoever he wants to be. But that's not the label that would have been used in 1997. My God.
No, it wasn't. It absolutely wasn't. And if they're going to try and if they want to really do a 97 X-Men and they're trying to approach that character and his thought processes and the way he reacts with other characters and what he calls himself, if they're going to do that with a 2024, through that lens, it's going to bomb because it's not going to make sense. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
But they don't have the time and I don't think they have the sensitivity, or maybe not sensitivities.
They don't have the
awareness.
intelligence.
Thank you. Yes, they don't have the intelligence, the awareness to do that, to use that nuance. And imagine, oh my God. Okay, imagine what you could do if you did a show like 97 X-Men and you kept it 97 everything, but you showed the struggle. Okay, say he's non-binary or androgynous, whatever you want to call him. And he's struggling with those things because it's not so prevalent. It's not so in your face. And he is working out a way to be an X-Men and live his genuine life the way he wants to live it. He's working all that shit out. Would that not be fascinating to see through a 97 lens? It would be interesting. It could be difficult, but it would, I don't know, it would be kind of different. It would be different, but they don't do that.
No, I don't want to do that.
Obi-Wan of the X-Men. Okay. Yeah, Rogue. Gambit's my boy, though, y'all. Gambit and Rogue forever. I'm sorry. Those two will always belong together in my heart. They're so cute together.
Well, they're also Southern.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
Gambit had the charisma, and Gambit had the suave.
He had flair.
He had the flair and he had the suave.
Ooh.
Don't get me started on him kinetically charging Wolverine's claws. Don't even get me started on that.
I saw that last night. I went, what?
You people not realize what happens to the things.
It blows the crap up.
But Wolverine's claws are made out of adamantium. Still blow them up. And Wolverine's hands and probably his arms too.
It's kind of how X-Men powers work.
God help me. They don't understand it.
No, and that's the problem. That's why the stories aren't good. Because that sounds so cool. Him grabbing Wolverine and making those claws just great idea, but dig a little deeper. That's not gonna work. That would be like Rogue going up and to distract someone, her brushing, her touching his face and him being like, oh, she's so pretty. Okay, well, she's going to suck the life out of him. So he's going to die. Is that what you want? You got to think about these things. There are mechanics to these powers, but whatever.
That's why she wears gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I can see them doing something like that. It's like, no, that's Rogue.
And why didn't anybody think about the fact that the callers on Geonosis took their powers away? If it takes your powers away, she can touch someone and kiss someone, and
there you go.
There you go. And suddenly her whole, I can't touch anybody, sugar, is out the window.
Ooh, that'd be an interesting day for Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one?
Mm-hmm.
Let's have fun. Sorry. Oh, come on, y'all. Everyone was thinking it. Who would she choose first?
Who's she gonna choose first?
I mean, she has her choice. She's pretty. She's cool. We all love Rogue. And she used to have a great ass, but I mean, I may be straight, but I could look at a woman's great ass and go, yeah, that is objectively a great ass. And Rogue had a great ass. Not so much anymore.
That's why I have always loved the older comic book writers. They knew how to draw females behind
Yeah,
in
they
her
did.
chest style region.
And look, I'm not for salaciousness just for salaciousness sake. You know, yeah, there is porn if men want to, or women or whoever, non-binaries want to go and find something they like, or you know, or just find a person. That's okay too. But at the same time, you know, it's okay to be aesthetically pleasing in art. It's okay to have a beautiful male form or a beautiful female form. Objectively, there is not a damn thing wrong with that. There's not, but they've made it almost, it's one of the greatest sins. Oh my God, if you see a woman and she looks like a woman in a drawing, the artist must be a pervert, or men just must want to fap at that, or now women just want to fap at, or what? It's like, you know what? The majority of the people, that's not even what they're thinking. That's not even on their radar. It's a fucking comic, or it's an anime, or it's a, you know, an animation show or whatever. Just want to see pretty people do pretty things and be entertained and have it be exciting. It's not really any deeper than that.
Zed Hero says Gambit is riding Wolverine like a pony. You know what I would have loved to hear? I would have loved to hear seeing Wolverine throw him off and go, nobody rides a Wolverine. All right? Like, nobody tosses a dwarf.
That's right. And yes, Arlena, you do have a nice ass. You have a great ass. She does. She's got a real, you know, I've seen her like, yeah, girl, you got some booty. It's
Hot.
Southern. We like butter down here. We have asses. Yes, Sherry, it was the kind of stuff you wrote home about. Have you seen this ass today?
Lost powers and touched people. She was torn about giving up her powers. That's right.
Yeah.
There's the Savage Lands. Someone brought that up where they don't have any powers. There is the collar. And that's something. See, that's what I was talking about earlier, was the collar that takes their powers away. Not only do you have no powers, but it's a collar. I wonder what they could do with that. Anyway. So yeah, Rogue's entire like I can't touch anybody and I can't ever have relations. That goes immediately out the window. So
yeah,
because you can just take her powers away and then give them back to her. Go save everybody.
Come back and get your collar when you're done.
So there is, I don't know how much you guys want me to get into this. We've got 20 minutes left. I do want to get to one more topic because there's a link in the description of this video of something I want to talk about. But really quick, I don't know how much anybody wants to hear about possible spoilers for Deadpool 3. Right now, the big rumor mill is churning and says that at the end of Deadpool 3, they will be moving over what is left of the X-Men into the MCU. What does that mean? That means Wolverine. That means characters that were in multiple movies, Magneto. So this is the thing. It's not just going to be Deadpool making the transition from Fox to the MCU. It's supposed to be the X-Men, a large portion of the roster, including a Rogue with powers, not just powers, but actual like flying around, busting shit up. So
you're talking about after she stole Captain Marvel's powers?
Okay. That has happened in their universe and will not happen in the MCU. But they will be in the main universe with Bucky and all of them that have been in the universe we have been in for the past 20 years. The X-Men from Fox will be joining the MCU. So you're going to have characters that were in those movies join the current roster of superheroes. Is that going to save it? I don't think so. I would have loved to see Robert Downey Jr. and Thor and all the rest of them unite with my X-Men that I watched, with Hugh Jackman,
Right.
with Professor X, Cyclops, Jean Grey, all those characters that I loved. I would love to see that. And I'm not talking about the reboot ones. I'm talking about the OG characters.
Yeah, but they're all old now.
Still, it would have been good. I think it would have been good.
Honestly, at this point, I'm so lost on all the universes and where they're going to be and what they're going to do. It's hard to keep up with, to be honest. I'm okay when they started exploring some of the multiverses and all that, but now I'm just battle weary with it all. I'm like, okay, I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't know that I really care, which is sad because of all comic books and all of the, the mutants were the ones that I identify with the most. And I think it's probably true for a lot of people, particularly, those of a nerdy persuasion. We all see ourselves as a mutant at some point. We can all relate to at least one X-Men. So I don't know. I don't know that I care anymore. And that's kind of bad. I sound black-pilled, but.
No, I don't care anymore. I just don't.
I've always thought that multiverse crap, was just way too much used. I mean, it's got to where it's just a trope now.
Yeah, pretty much. It's I think a replacement for sloppy writing, or an excuse, not a replacement, an excuse for sloppy writing. Oh, we can do whatever we want in these multiverses and it won't matter. Well, the beauty is when they're all connected and stories overlap, but that's complicated because you're dealing with timelines and people's situations. So you're going to have to be really tight with your writing on that. And I don't, Gary, oh God. Sorry. And I don't think they have the talent to do that nowadays, is my point.
There is a link in the description of this stream, and it leads to a article that I couldn't believe was an MSN. I do read news shit every once in a while. And this is it's titled about the Super Bowl. It really has a lot more to do than that. I'm going to use some words to try and bypass what I'm sure YouTube is not going to like. If anything happens, this is on me. So I take full responsibility for bringing this topic up. People have been banned. People have lost their channels. There's all kinds of shit. It happened to these two. Arwyn and Arlena know exactly, and have dealt with this before because they brought this topic up before and they got shut down. But let me just read a little bit of this. Joe Biden's authoritarian approach to managing the COOF outbreak, forcing all workplaces of 100 or more people to require the poke or regularly test their employees, and the censorship of opposing views. Censorship of opposing views is the big one there. On COOF, on poke side effects and on treatment, not only trampled on the rights of Americans, may have led to preventable deaths. Nothing could have highlighted America's distrust of the pharmaceutical industry more starkly than the Pfizer ad, which aimed to rebuild not only its brand, but general attitudes toward medicine. It's hard to imagine a world where a leading drug maker feels the need to remind people that science has led to life-saving breakthroughs, yada, yada, yada. This was an ad. Of course, it had something to do with Kelsey, and where they showed Copernicus and Sir Isaac Newton. This was played on the Super Bowl, and they are comparing themselves, the wizards over at Pfizer, to people like Sir Isaac Newton and Copernicus. Pitzer's problem, first, the sales of the poke have cratered. It's dealing with a backlash against Biden's heavy-handed dictates. And yes, he was a dictator about it. That's a fact.
Yep.
Yeah.
Americans got upset about being forced to take a jab and were angry that the inoculation, along with others, turned out to be not as effective as the government promised it would be. That is on President Biden. He told everyone, if you get the poke, you're not going to get sick. You're not going to be hospitalized. You're not going to be in the IC unit, and you're not going to die. And he lied. That was a big, huge lie.
And there were also unintended consequences, such as side effects that we shall not go into.
Yeah.
And he said this in a town hall in June of 2021. He was lying. It says so in this article. He said it. This is what he said. This is in the article. That is connected to the section of this live stream. The pokes were quickly developed and have helped people survive infection, but did not stop the spread, which they were promised they would do. Many students of viruses predicted early on the bug mutated, but it's not just about that. This is not what's blown me away about this. And this is on MSN, guys. This is in MSN, of all things. Over-promising on the poke was not the worst crime. It was their efforts to shut down all discourse about it. I cannot believe that when I read that, I had to do a double take. I had to look at this all over again because I was like, holy shit, what did they just say? It was their effort to shut down all discussion about the poke, including exploration of possible treatments, therapies to combat it that did irreparable damage, pressuring Facebook, Twitter, and Google to demote, render invisible criticisms of it, including the emergence of possible side effects, was heinous, as was banning discussion of it and its likely origin. Amazon was also in on the suppression game, according to internal emails, after being asked by the Biden White House in early 2021 to censor books critical of pokes that supposedly contain propaganda and misinformation. Remember that at the time, the height of censorship. Remember that at the time, the pokes were brand new and had not been tested. No one, including public health experts, were in a position to determine which claims were valid and which were not. The Food and Drug Administration, that's the FDA, briefing documents on the trials of the pokes, reported instances of people contracting Bell's palsy as well as other problems. People rallied against the know-it-all attitude of the government medical establishment personified by Dr. Fauci, who in one unimaginable pompous moment declared, "I am the science," on 60 Minutes. That there's no reason to be walking around with a mask. And then did a 180-degree turn and said everybody had to mask up and nobody could talk about it. Unabashed, Fauci continued to know it all, but in fact, he and other bureaucrats made poor and unscientific decisions like shutting down schools, bending to the political left of the teachers union, and opposed to indications that children were safe from the coof. Bottom line was that millions of people became suspicious of the vaccine and refused to take the shot, endangering themselves and those around them. As a result, the U.S. had a worse outcome than any other developed country in the world. It is not just Fitzer's ad that reminds us of this consequential failure, considering the campaign of Robert F. Kennedy, blah, 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 anti-vaxxers, because of the backlash against popular mandates of the Biden administration, uptake on the most recent vaccines aimed to prevent serious infection from new coof variants has been poor. Nobody wants to take it, and nobody has to take it anymore. So they're like, no, I'm not going back to that. That's their choice. But that choice was taken away from them. Period. End of discussion. The choice was taken away from you. You didn't have a choice. If you wanted to earn money, if you wanted to have a job, if you wanted to feed your kids, if you wanted to pay your house payment, this is what you had to do.
If you wanted to stay in the military.
If you wanted to stay in the military. And people got shut down from staying in the military. And now they're asking them to come back. They've been asking them to come back for the last, year or more?
Yep.
Hey, come back. We know we pushed you out because you didn't want to take the Pope, but get your ass back in here. We want you back. And they don't want to come back because they don't want to deal with this again. I talked to someone just the other day that had a chance to go into the Marine Corps as an officer. They postponed that and didn't do that because they don't want to serve under this president. They passed up a wonderful opportunity because they don't want to serve under this president. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's nuts. They have a chance to go and do something incredible with their lives, and they're going, not under this guy.
I have a bone to pick with all this because I firmly believe that all those mandates and everything led to my mother's death in a assisted living home. Because I'll tell you right now, she died of loneliness because we couldn't get in to see her. They would not let us, physically be with them or anything. They might allow you to look through a partition or whatever, and say hi, but you could not be with them. And, that really, she went downhill after that, and she was dead within, 6 or 8 months after that. And to this day, I still have a hate in my heart for the people that caused this.
1 month before this all came out, when people were getting sick and they had no idea what was going on, I lost my dad. I honestly believe this is what it was, because he was fine, and then he couldn't breathe, and then he was on the floor, and then they put him on a respirator, and he was gone.
Oh God.
It was that it was done. 1 year later, to the date, nobody can go in and see anyone in a home. My mother passed away by herself. It was freezing in Houston. They could not get a helicopter to bring in blood platelets. She needed blood platelets.
Oh God.
And she passed away by herself. The nurses were sending photographs.
Oh, Loki.
That's it. That's what happened. Like Dave Bob, no one could get in to see him. This is what we had to live with, because people went absolutely authoritarian and wanted to control every aspect of what people did.
Mm-hmm.
I never got the poke. I can be proud that I can say that I never got the poke. I never had to get the poke. So I'm lucky. Some people were not that lucky. Some people took it and had serious side effects.
Yes.
That is a fact.
Yes, it is.
Not everybody did, but some people did.
No matter how they try to spin it, there was a considerable percentage of people that had side effects that if they just glossed over and tossed out and everything else. And at the time, the hospitals were getting paid tremendous amounts of money to conflate ever, death came from COVID or the poke or coof or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were making just ungodly amounts of money at the time.
Yep.
And them turning people against each other. This is something that they blasted Gina Carano for bringing up. Neighbor turning against neighbor, family member turning in family member.
Yep.
They did this during the Holocaust. That's what they did. They turned neighbor against neighbor.
Yeah.
They pointed their fingers and blamed. They said all of your problems are their fault. That's exactly what they did.
And
it's
it
spreading
was
because of people like that. People are dying because of you. People are dying because of this. People are, and they're pointing their fingers, saying, if it wasn't for you, we'd all be fine, and this would all be over by now.
Yeah, that's exactly
not true.
right.
It was always so unfairly mandated too. Certain groups could do it. You couldn't go to church, but the actors could go out here and do a movie. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do a restaurant here, but over here, on this set, you can have everything, normal. I mean, it was just unfairly done. I mean, I don't know.
Well, hell, you had a country who had a freaking convoy that it inspired the world to take a look at this stuff that was just over mandates. It wasn't even over, well, I don't want to take the vaccine. Nobody should take the vaccine. No, it was just like, look, just let me keep my job. I don't want to take it. let me keep my job. And their own leadership called them traitors and called them the
Nazis.
most horrible things. And it's like, why? Because they want to do what they feel is best for their own damn bodies?
And
Are you
froze their
kidding
bank
me?
accounts.
Froze their
Fro-
bank accounts? Yes.
Yeah, and
It was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, I was never a Trudeau fan, but after that, I was like, dude, you are tweaked. These are your people. What
It's
are
the
why
things he
are you
learned
making
from
them
his.
the enemy?
It's the things he learned from his dad. Castro
Oh,
was the same way.
yes. And y'all, I'm just gonna say this. I never thought Trudeau was handsome. He is Weasley. The man is not, he is Weasley. Everyone's like, oh, when he first got, he's so handsome. No, he's not. He's Weasley. And now I know he's Weasley in his spirit. So it's a double bleh for me.
Yeah, what Chris said right here.
Yeah, Chris, yes. He called Canadians terrible things. And it's like, what?
Yes, he is. He is.
Good.
So the government of Canada is being sued because they did it unlawfully.
Good.
They used the emergency powers unlawfully.
oh
And
yeah,
it is-
he used them things like a whip.
Yeah.
So you can't
This
do
is not
that.
hearsay. Y'all remember when Stephen was streaming those for over a month or however long it took? You know, we were all pretty plugged into that. So we saw these meetings happen. We saw what these people were actually saying, both the convoy and the government. So Loki, you're right. It's like people are being turned against other people for an ideology that's really not even that extreme. Saying, look, if you want to take the jab, that's your decision. I support you. You're doing what's right for you. If I don't want to take it, I'm doing what's right for me. That's all it's about. It's about letting people make a choice, and people are losing their shit over it.
What I find absolutely interesting, and this is what blows my mind away. On one hand, you have someone that says, I don't want my kid to take this shot. And the people on the other side are screaming, how dare you do that? You have to do that, while they go in and get an abortion and get rid of their kids.
Yeah, there you go.
Pro-life, pro-choice, blah, 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 or pro-choice. I should be able to do whatever I want. And then how dare you do whatever you want?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's inconsistency of
It's
thought.
called a double standard.
Yeah, it is.
And if you get and up in Canada now, you know, if you get depressed and you go to a doctor, they'll give you the option of going bye-bye.
You know, I was telling someone last night, I was like, you know, I used to think kind of in a joking manner, not seriously. I used to think if it gets this bad in the US, there's always Canada. Well,
Not anymore.
not anymore.
Did you see that article about the guy that moved from Canada to Russia because
Oh my God.
what's going on up there?
Siberia's sounding good this time of year. I mean, what the hell? Right.
Just like Gary over at Pop Culture Minefield, I am out of coffee this morning.
Oh, so am I.
Yep, I
Whee!
just took my last
Me
sip.
too. Me too.
So
And it's just about the right time, too.
it's just about the right time too. Yes, I got decaf this morning. Yay! Black decaf.
Not me, but I've been told I need to cut back on my coffee.
I just got
so
black
I only
regular.
get 2 cups now. Yeah. So.
So all the fancy stuff is gone. I just get, if I want a cup of coffee, I can have a black cup of decaf. Ugh. I'm not a Marine. I wasn't born for black coffee.
Loki,
That's
you
just-
need those sugar-free creamers or those sugar-free syrups just to add a little zhuzh to it. You can get sugar-free ones. You won't
Yeah.
be deprived.
I
You won't be
can.
deprived. You can.
I hate the way it makes it, like it makes it okay. So anytime I've done that with like the Splenda or whatever,
Yeah.
it's like I've got a mouthful of sticky syrup after so I'll drink. So like the whole point of this in the
Mhm.
morning is it cleans the nostrils, and I'm not sitting here like or anything like that. I can
Okay.
talk, and I'm not like, or anything like that. It's why I like to to have something besides water in the morning, either
Yeah.
lemon tea or coffee. If I do Splenda or anything with the artificial sugar,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it will. Yeah,
It
it
leaves
does
an
do that.
aftertaste.
I guess I'm shit. If I die right now, I'd probably be a preserved corpse. I have so much damn Splenda in my veins at this point. But no, that is true. It can give you an aftertaste if you're not really used to it. Yeah.
so I can't do Monsters. The reason why I can't do the caffeine is because of my heart. So
It's decaf. It's decaf.
yeah, decaf. So, too high heart rate and too blood pressure. So
Yeah.
I've had a heart attack and I still drink coffee.
Hey, Bob's like, I'm hardcore, man. I'm old school.
I'm trying to stave off the heart attack. Is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I hear you, Loki. I hear you.
Oh,
Hey,
and I
Bob,
gotta
you're
get
badass.
new. I gotta get new. I just got these, and I'm gonna get something else because they're killing my ears. So
What are they,
this is why I
buds?
don't do earbuds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
hurt.
even put the little smaller tips on them, and that's not helping. So I'm gonna get an actual pair of AirPods, and or whatever they are.
Those things that hang
Earbuds.
out of the bottom of your ears, or what?
No, they just go in your ear.
No, I'm talking about the AirPods. What are those?
Oh no, they're just like earbuds. They're like earbuds, but they're the actual Apple ones. See, the Apple ones never bothered me. These things, though, are killing the sides of my ears.
Yeah,
Ah,
they don't
okay.
look comfortable.
They're
Those
not.
Yeah. I've tried to use some like that, and I can't.
Well, this is why I do the muffs, but I don't want to have the muffs on anymore. I really don't. I like
The
So-
freedom of being muff free.
the muff free.
Okay.
I ain't going there.
Loki's muff free, y'all.
My
leaving.
diving days are over.
I'm leaving that one alone.
That's your terminology. See, y'all, they say the words. I just repeat them. So it's all good.
Oh God, we're getting out of here. Either one of you guys want to promote anything, throw anything out? Now's the time.
I think back to tomorrow night.
Back to.
Yeah, and then we'll just see what else happens. I don't know. I'm I'm already like 3 hours behind in this day already. So yeah, and then Arlene and I will be back next week. She had a lot of shit she had to do at work. That was just, she was wiped when she got home. Yesterday I had shit going on. I was wiped. We will be back, y'all. I promise. I promise. Next week.
Mark was going to do an Arwyn drive-by.
Oh my God, Mark. I don't even have my phone near me at this point. Are you okay? Yeah, my son's just came in like, I'm ready to go to work. So
We
anyway.
will be back later tonight for the late show. Or we may not. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk. Keep an eye out, guys. If we're not, I will update. I think Snowdub is down. We have a Snowdub down.
Snowdub down.
Oh, snowed
Snowed
up
up
down,
down.
y'all. Okay.
So I will have to talk to him and check. We may or may not do a late show. But if we don't, catch me over on EBN later today at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time when we do our weekly bullshittery
Nice.
and talk about all kinds of stuff. So
we found out that Snowdub did not tuck and roll.
Snowdub did not tuck and roll. Snowdub's laptop wouldn't come on yesterday. So I think he's got to have his laptop checked. So, but you got Machiny draws coming up after this. I'm like loading him up now so that it will auto direct everybody over there. Loki, why do you wait to the end of the show to do that? Because if I do it before, it doesn't work.
While you're doing that, I'm going to gracefully exit stage left so I can get my son to work. But I love y'all.
We
Mwah.
love you. Thank you,
Have
Arwyn.
a wonderful day. Bye.
Lady Rogue.
Guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak Brenda Enter, and we'll see you on the next Week in Review. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Goodbye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.